Call tonight's meeting in order. Everybody stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor is not joining us tonight, so. All right, need approval of minutes, please.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the town board meeting on Thursday, June 13, 2019.
Second the motion.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Leoni?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganter?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye. Payment of claims.
Hold on. Vouchers to be paid June 27th, 2019, general fund, number 171 through 182, $13,261.66. Sewer district number 1, numbers 83 through 89, $4,189.06. Sewer district number 2, numbers 94 through 100, $3,180.01. Sewer district number 3, numbers 57 through 59, $715.66. In-house number 4, $148.98. Highway number 111 through 118, $6,234.60. Total vouchers to be paid $27,729.97.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganter?
Aye.
Councilmember Leoni?
Aye.
Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye. All right, committee reports. We're going to start off. Randall's going to go over the agreement we have with the county for the solar consortium, and let's go from there.
Okay, so we had the utility credit purchase agreement, and if you remember, we have gone from having a site in the town, or two, to having no sites in the town. And so what they've done is they've recreated the utility credit purchase agreement to address the towns of Waynesburg and maybe one or two other towns that won't have a solar site. So it's essentially the same agreement. The energy rate that you'll pay for the credits is about 8 cents for each of the credits. The credits will be bought from the solar company and credited against the accounts that we've listed in the back of this agreement. It's basically a very simple explanation, but that's really what happens. Take any questions.
Was there a number that we were going to be saving, or be able to, what our benefit would be from it at the end of the year?
I don't have that. I don't think they have any. I don't have any projection.
Okay, so basically the GE who's handling it would
Right,
to give
we'll
us
have
that.
that, yep.
Okay. I have no other questions. You guys have any?
I think the last, I mean, they had mentioned something around 10,000, no, I think last time?
That was yeah, I think it was about
I think
10,000
it was
since we didn't have a site. I think that was
Right.
their guesstimate was.
Yeah.
So 10 grand a year is 10 grand a year. So
Absolutely, sure.
10% of our power. Maybe 100 grand a year total.
Yep. Okay.
Good to me.
Yeah, if that's all it
We'll
is.
just sign a piece of paper.
Okay,
Save 10,000. I think it's a good idea.
absolutely.
All right. We'll move on from there then. Highway committee. Highway.
It's been quiet. First round of mowing's been completed. All our prep work is done for the capital improvements. Projects have all been pushed into July because of the weather. So we're on hold with that, so we'll just continue on doing some routine maintenance until then.
Okay. And we're going to make the motion to hire your new person tonight. So Bill met with the committee members. We all get to meet, and we'll get to the point of on the agenda. You'll see that we're going to be hiring a new highway personnel to replace one that retired. So we'll talk about it when we get there. Anything else, Bill? Any guys questions for Bill? Comments? Thoughts, ideas? Public safety, Charles.
I haven't had any communication with any of the fire departments, and I don't have a report.
All right, there's one little thing that I was just made aware of, and I'm probably going to say a few things wrong, but I have to I left the email in the office. The construction they're doing on your road, Scotch Ridge Road, and the county, the Waynesburg Fire Department is in discussion with the county EMS, because now they want to close the bridge,
Kelly Station.
Kelly
tunnel.
Station Bridge tunnel. Then with the work on Scotts Ridge, it puts the Duanesburg Fire Department like a 25-minute response that they left, to get to on the other side.
Right.
So, but the county is pushing off their work, so it's gonna, they're only supposed to have one done at a time, now they're gonna do two, so there's the fire department's
Yeah,
pretty
that
aggravated.
culvert is slow going.
Yeah, so they're trying to get it to, so we're only doing one instead of just doing both.
You know,
because-
I live on the road, so I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for the lack of traffic.
Yep.
Slow going.
We're still the other way, so that's the only thing that's really come up in the last
Yeah.
few weeks of emergency service stuff, so. Park Committee, Charles?
I'm glad to see that all the names for the councilors were submitted, and we're gonna vote on tonight. And hopefully the park program is gonna be a success under Mr. McCarty.
Okay. Sewer districts.
I do not have a report this meeting. Went to it last meeting, so I don't have anything to discuss.
Mary Beth?
Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Mary, how are you?
We don't get to see you very often.
I know, it's a surprise. Bill, I think, is on the zoning board of appeals in his town, and
Okay.
they have a meeting tonight, so
Ah.
he needs to go. I think he might be the chairman of the zoning board of appeals.
I can see him doing that.
Yeah, I could see him doing that too. So I think Bill did send an email to everybody. I don't know if folks got it, and unfortunately I didn't make a ton of copies.
Yeah, we
but
got
you have
copies,
that?
yeah.
Okay. The good news is there's not really a whole lot going on, which I think is kind of nice to hear for once. So really quickly, Sewer District 3. Final drawdown request is into the EFC for that. Site restoration is done. And so the next step is to prepare the application to close the loan to begin the long-term financing for that project. So that's great that that's where we're at with that. Sewer District 2, this is Mariahville. The speedies permit was modified in 2018 to add a disinfection requirement. Last year we applied for a grant on behalf of the town to support adding the disinfection step. We were fortunate, we got $300,000 out of $400,000 to do that work. DEC has provided you guys with the paperwork to get the grant moving. Everything is now back at DEC. We're just waiting for them to get back to us with an agreement, back to you with an agreement. And then the only thing that we do have to think about, we don't have to do it right now, but in the near future we need to think about how we're going to fund the additional $100,000.
Okay.
You have some choices. You can bond it. Interest rates are nice and low, so that's a good thing. The other thing we could think about is SRF funding, and see if we can get some even lower cost financing through the SRF program. The SRF program is the one that you're financing the other Sewer District 3 project with. So we can think about that. The one thing I will say is if we think we want to do SRF, we will want to do a little filing. It's a couple sheets of paper in August. That queues us up for financing next year. If we wait, it's only once a year. So we want to kind of think about that and get ahead of it. The other thing is we put in the sheets of paper, there's no obligation. We can always say thanks but no thanks. But it opens the door, it gives you the opportunity.
That's by September? That has to be filed? Is that how that?
Usually, this is the intended use plan, which runs on the federal fiscal year, starts on October 1st and September 30th.
Yeah.
So the way the state does it is right now they're preparing the draft intended use plan for next year. They'll put that out sometime in July for comment. We can submit the project any time during the comment period on the draft. Comment period in the draft generally ends in August.
Okay.
So usually we'll just time it so that it fits in their process,
Yeah,
but
and
usually it ends in
September date
August.
is- Yeah, okay.
Yeah, September is for the Water Quality Improvement
Okay.
Act program,
Okay.
which still hasn't been announced. I've actually had a lot of people asking me, and I did talk to folks at the EFC, and they were just waiting for the governor to make an announcement. So we're all waiting for the governor to make an announcement on that one. I don't think we have anything there that we can do under that program because we've already gotten those grants for the other projects. For Sewer District 1, which is the Delanson facility, we have a couple things going on. We have the long-term improvements that were required by the consent order have to be done by December 2021. That's the equalization tank, a screen to remove rags, wipes, upgraded disinfection and control system. It's about a $1.8 million project. We applied last year for Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, and we got $436,000 towards that project. The remaining amount will be an SRF loan, and we've already processed that paperwork, so that's in the works. We have a revised engineering report into EFC to advance that financing, and so we have a couple things. We have a draft amendment to the prior engineering agreement for this project. Didn't include the planning dollars, and some of us met recently, and again, I'm apologized for the gap. I was not aware that we had a gap. Certainly, we need to address the gap. So one of the things you have is you do have the amendment in your packet tonight. As soon as you guys are ready and you execute the amendment, we'll get the MWBE filing done. We can't do the filing until we have the agreement in hand. And the only other part with that one is that as part of what's called the Environmental Benefit Program that DEC runs, the Speedies permit for the Delancey plant's up for renewal next year. They've sent us what's called an RFI, request for information. That's also attached here. Bill had originally given you guys a proposal for that work. I think it was around $4,000. He and I discussed it, and the attached proposal is for $1,500. We're able to find some economies and make sure that we can get the work done very expeditiously. So you have a revised proposal to respond to the RFI for $1,500. The one thing I will point out, and we did include the letter from the state with this, they're expecting a response at the end of July. So we do need to act on this so that we can get back to the state in time. And that's it. The two are the attachments is the revised proposal for the RFI for Delanson and the contract amendment to include the planning in the project. Questions?
Is there any questions for Mary Beth at all?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. It's all good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, any other sewer district related stuff? No? Alright, IT, John?
Yeah. We had our broadband committee meeting. Our last one was held on June 5th, and I'm just going to cover, we do have minutes now from that meeting, so I just want to read some of the highlights from that meeting about things that we covered or talked about. Schenectady County, as we've mentioned before, actually they had a presentation here, did provide us with a $100,000 grant to be used specifically for broadband extension in the town. The town will be using this as well as franchise fees to perform trenching on low-density roads to bring the costs down so that Spectrum can lay cable down. We've got a pilot project on Mountain View and another one on Creek Road. Those will be our pilot projects. Verizon completed its build-out to homes in the north and northeast portions of Duanesburg. Funds from this came out of the New York State Broadband Program Office Phase 3, which was part of Governor Cuomo's attempt to get everyone in the state wired, which we know really did not happen, but we got people wired some, and it moves us closer to our goal of 100%, so it's good. The Broadband Committee also had a meeting with Midtel to see if we could partner with them on some USDA funding, but we learned that the USDA grant programs that they have right now don't provide enough funding to make it worthwhile for Midtel. We really need the federal or state program, whatever we can find, to provide about 75 to 80% of the funding in order for that project to be worthwhile at Midtel. So we're still looking for other avenues to secure that funding. The New York State PSC and Spectrum have proposed a settlement agreement to allow Charter to remain in the state. If you recall, the governor threatened to kick Charter out for failure to fulfill its obligations under the merger. We've reviewed that settlement, proposed settlement agreement, and our committee and the broadband committee and the town board actually drafted a letter expressing our concerns about it, and I did see that we just got a reply to that from the PSC. I'll give you an idea of the things we complained about. This is, dear Mr. Tipple and Mr. Ganther, thank you for your June 13th letter in which you state your concern for the proposed settlement. You state that it fails to require disclosure of Charter's build-out plans, nor does it address what you believe to be a failure by the Department of Public Service to promote the build-out of broadband service. You further explain these concerns and propose that the department promulgate certain requirements, including a 100% build-out in the franchise area with a lower density requirement. If you recall, they have got a 35 home per mile requirement, and they've actually lowered it to 20 in our case in our agreement. But why is it even 20? Why isn't it lower? If the state's position that everyone has to be wired, the numbers should be lower, and that was the concern we expressed. Also, requiring pole attachment contracts by franchise area rather than by pole, and eliminating Charter's ability to hide expansion and service plans from the public. I appreciate your interest, it'll become part of the commission record, etc. So, those are things we complained about, and we did get a response from the PSC about that. A couple other things quickly. Charter is providing service to an area on Schoharie Turnpike. Looks like the wiring is in place, but we do not have any information as to when folks will be getting service. And lastly, our next meeting is scheduled for August 7th, and that, as usual, will be at 6:30 downstairs here, and the public is invited. The other thing that I want to talk about is our email system, which continues to be a real problem. We still get reports of people not getting emails or folks sending emails and they aren't received by the target. I know I have issues with it. You try to search on something, it can take like 5 or 10 minutes for the website to respond. It locks up and I have to reset my browser. It's just, the Spectrum email system is just not working for us. And it's a free service, so you get what you pay for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did price out where we are with not only with email, but Office if we were to move to Microsoft, which is obviously the industry standard. And I'm going to pass these around. And what I'd like to do is just go over quickly what the numbers are in here. We don't have to have any discussion or agreement on anything today. What my hope is that I'll explain these numbers here. You can think about it, maybe at the next meeting, express your thoughts on it, and hopefully have a resolution to move forward on it. Well, let me just explain what this chart is here. So, currently, for the most part, we have individual licenses for Office products on each individual computer. But the industry is moving away from that. A lot of things are going to, in the cloud services where you don't have it local. The programs and the actual documents, email, etc. are in the cloud. It makes it more affordable equipment-wise. You don't have to have all the equipment internally to store all that information. And it makes it more accessible. No matter where you are, you can access this from any device that you have. So you're not locked down to your computer in order to use the program and to access the data. That migration to, it's called Office 365, that migration has already started internally because the newer computers won't even load the older versions of Office. You would actually have to buy newer versions, and when you do, it's like $200–300 to purchase, and that's for each computer. Naturally, that adds up. So we've had to replace 2 computers recently, so we've already moved them to Office 365. And those are the 2 you see in the first column. It runs $8.25 a month per computer, but you never have to worry about the software again. You don't have to buy a new version of it when it comes out. You don't have to worry about storage for any of it. It's all in the cloud and it's taken care of. So the additional 3 columns are what would happen if we migrated all the way across. So the second column is for the remainder of the computers internally that are running Office products, what would it cost to get them onto 365? And then the final 2 columns are email. For folks that have Office 365, it'll be an extra $5.25 a month to have them have Microsoft email. The final column is folks like our board members who don't have Office here, but still have to access email. So to just get the email for these folks in this last column, it would be $6 a month. So the total cost per month is on the bottom, over on the right-hand side. It would run, if we were to migrate all of our Office products to Office 365 in the cloud and move our email system from Spectrum to Microsoft, for all the people at Town Hall that currently use Office or email, the total cost would be $214 a month, or about $2,600 per year. But as I mentioned down in my notes below, each time that Microsoft comes out with a new version of Office, by the time we pay for the licenses for every computer and the consulting services and the upgrade time, it's costing us about $3,000 a year anyway just to do one of those upgrades. Here, you never have to worry about upgrades again. You're always running on the most current version, and you don't have to worry about any of the hardware. So I'll leave those numbers with you, and if folks have any questions about the numbers of the information, let me know, and I can get answers on it. I also asked about whether or not there's a government price, which might be a little bit more affordable, but Omnis does not think that our government is large enough to qualify for the volume discount that a town or city would get. So the little guy doesn't get the break, it seems. But they're double checking on that, and I'll let you know.
I think you would take care of the little guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Little guy discount.
So that's where we are with that. Again, we are having trouble with emails not arriving on both sides, so I would like to move forward if we go all get agreement by the next meeting.
I mean, it's something, we can probably discuss it openly right now. I'm in total agreement on, thank you for putting this together. It's very well put together, and the numbers speak for themselves, so.
Okay.
It's a cost savings.
Yeah, it's the cost savings right there. Just to save, yeah, that's the money we're gonna save per year and be up to date and where we should be. I think to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'd also say that the email and document storage, you get 1 terabyte of storage per user as well.
That's a lot.
Now, if you had to purchase that storage and maintain that storage and worry about drives failing and do the backup on it and all the other things, you just don't have to worry about those things anymore. So,
What is the contract length?
I believe you have to have 1-year commitment.
1 year commitments?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just with that number you got, it's $400 or $500 a year cheaper with way less hassle factor, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hassle factors cost money.
Makes sense.
I had no problem when we get to the business meeting to put it on. Anyone else has any?
It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
I would be eternally grateful, and so would everyone here at Town Hall. So, that would be fine with me. And that's all I have tonight.
Alrighty, that ends our normal committee stuff. I really ain't got much else. I do want to make an announcement, at least to the public, that tomorrow night here at Town Hall, 6:30 p.m. will be the hometown banners presentation for the newer banners that are going up in town. I want to thank April Kellerman who took it on this year. Doing a great job. It's a great program that started last year. Very well received in town. The veterans, we can speak about veterans all night, but the veterans are cornerstone people of this community, and without them we wouldn't be where we are today. So anybody can come and join, be there, clap them on, be pictures, then there'll be, I think most of them are going into Lansing, I can't remember the exact locations, but they'll discuss that and put on where they're going to be and who's going to be up. It's something the people that have the banners up, they can have them up every year. Just pay the little fee, but it's a great program. Great program. You see it in all the towns. From Schenectady, Guildwood. It's a great thing to honor our veterans. So please be there if you can to honor everybody. Do you have anything else we need to open discuss at all? Or anything else good?
Not here.
Bruce, All right, we'll move right into the business meeting then. What's the start?
Make a motion to approve and authorize the town supervisor to execute the utility credit purchase agreement with Schenectady County.
Where is that?
It's number one, right?
Number two.
But it's not.
Oh, no,
No,
it's
no,
not.
it's number two.
Tricky,
Number two?
tricky.
Oh, I see.
Okay, whereas the Schenectady County, the county has initiated the Schenectady County Solar Energy Consortium, to develop a network of solar projects on municipally owned and land within Schenectady County. And whereas the goal of the Solar Energy Consortium is to eliminate utility costs and generate revenue for participating municipalities and pass millions of dollars in savings to the county, town, city, and village taxpayers. And whereas the town of Duanesburg Town Board adopted a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a memorandum of understanding, the MOU, with the Solar Energy Consortium, GE, and various participating municipalities within the county as a preliminary step toward the town's participation in the Solar Energy Consortium. And whereas Schenectady County Solar Projects 2019 LLC has been established as the project company that will develop, own, and maintain the solar photovoltaic electricity generating and battery energy storing facilities, the solar facilities, anticipated to be constructed under the Solar Energy Consortium. And whereas pursuant to the MOU, the town may enter the utility credit purchase agreement to receive a portion of the utility credits created by all or any of the solar facilities, and whereas the town desires to enter the utility credit purchase agreement with Schenectady County Solar Project 2019 LLC attached hereto, now therefore be resolved that the town board approves and authorizes the town supervisor to execute utility credit purchase agreement attached hereto.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I think the fact that they are adding storage is a big factor.
The energy storage?
Yeah.
Clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Leoni?
Aye.
Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
I make a motion to approve and authorize the town supervisor to enter a professional services agreement with Delaware Engineering, PE, to assist with the Delanson wastewater treatment plant state pollutant discharge elimination system permit. Whereas the Delanson wastewater treatment plant serves the Duanesburg, Delanson Sewer District Number 1 and Duanesburg Sewer District Number 3. And whereas the town of Duanesburg Town Board wishes to retain Delaware Engineering, PE, parentheses DE, under a professional service agreement to assist with the Delanson wastewater treatment plant state pollutant discharge elimination system, SPEEDIES, permit review by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. The work, and whereas the amount to be paid to DE for the work is an amount not to exceed $1,500 to be invoiced to a project number and charged to both Sewer District Number 1 and Number 3. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board approves and authorizes the town supervisor to enter the attached professional service agreement with Delaware Engineering.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
No, this is the Speedy's permit assistance that we need from Delaware Engineering that Mary Beth spoke to earlier.
Did I get a second?
Yeah, second.
Clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Leoni?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint the following counselors for the 2019 Park Program. Adam Ostrander, Rayleigh Ostrander, Madison Steely, Kristen Johnson, Olivia Harris, Justin LeClaire, and Skylar Bradshaw.
Second motion.
What we do every year, these are the counselors for the summer park program. It's great to see young folks come up, step up, and give their time and work for us and learn a new skill and help us out with the park program. It's been very, very successful, so keep it going. Any other discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Leoni?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Make a motion to hire Kyle Smart as a highway department employee.
Second.
So we all got to meet Kyle one way or another. Kyle comes with a good amount of experience working for another town. Joined our team over here, was locally, so we welcome him aboard, working for Bill. So.
Absolutely.
Any other discussion on it?
No, so we were all there for the interview, and I think he's gonna do just fine. It's gonna be great.
So, we good fit. All right, clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Leoni?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Right. So we're on words. Make a motion to switch email and office product supply. How do you want to word it, John? How do you word it? Oh,
That wasn't me.
I
Too
can't
long,
say.
too.
I make a motion that we move our office and email systems to Microsoft Office 365.
I'll second it. Any other discussion on it? Clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Leoni?
Aye.
Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
It'd be so nice to scan, search for an email and have it returned in 3 seconds rather than 10 minutes. I can't even tell you.
Sure. Any other business meeting items? All right, open the privilege of the floor. Anybody wish to speak? You guys can fight it out. Mr. Hoffman?
I'm wondering why the highway department doesn't spray the culverts and the signs.
Are they done?
Spray.
Spray, yeah. You know, you can't cut it with a machine, you don't trim them,
Oh, we don't have a herbicide license.
you don't need it. You don't need a license, I spray all the time. For what you need to spray, you don't need a license.
I think the municipality does need it.
I see the state does it, the county
Wait.
does it. You know,
I
how much
assure you those
how
are
much it would
licensed.
save.
Those guys are licensed to do that.
You were talking spray like a weed killer type spray?
Right, right.
You gotta have a license to do it. Municipalities, you gotta have it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You being a farmer, you might be exempt.
No, it's the
No.
type of spray you use.
Oh, okay,
You don't
it's
need a
not-
license.
They
There's
used to
a lot
do
you need a
it.
license
Yeah.
for.
You gave up the license, we can't do it anymore.
I mean, that's something we can look into going down the road.
Boy, that would save a lot of
Yeah.
maintenance on your end and make it easier for
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
at
that's-
culverts and stuff like that.
Worth looking into.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah.
What about hotline? Is that fine?
What is it?
Line? Hotline?
Hotline?
Not for that.
Quick line.
Am I right? As a farmer, like if you sometimes use hotline, that'll neutralize stuff, but doesn't.
Hurt the environment?
It's not very effective.
Okay.
Was that, you know?
You're better off with a spray. It's quicker, it's easier,
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
You
we-
can spray all the roads within a couple of days, what needed, but the culverts and that, the maintenance would be.
Yeah,
And it looks better too, because you can't cut it, you don't trim it,
yeah.
and the maintenance on it would be, we're super.
All right.
And the stuff you use, you don't need to be licensed. I don't know why a town would have to be licensed for it. If you use
There's a liability factor because you're running along people's private property if you pollute it.
any place you spray, it's town property. You don't do it on private property.
Well,
Runoff.
you got runoff,
People's property that is slowed down.
particles in the wind.
Just drop, you know no matter what you do, somebody's gonna criticize you.
Well, that's-
You know how it is, so.
It's New York State.
It's
You
New York
gotta
State
get
and
permission.
Well,
Well, they're a
to read
state, how much
state.
they did, around 20.
Well, they can do it, they're the state. But no, it's worth looking into.
Oh, yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
definitely
It's a
look
good
into it.
idea.
It would
Something
save
like
a
that.
lot of
Yeah, no.
labor. and-
I just see everybody else
Absolutely.
mowing, so I, the county mows, I just never had that thought, so. I
Yeah,
know with all the chemicals nowadays, and it's just crazy, with all the laws and licenses you need, but if there's a product out there we can do, we definitely,
the products I use, you don't have to be licensed. Some of the other ones, particular ones you have to, but you wouldn't use that on the road.
could you get the name of those products to Bill when you get
Oh
a
yeah,
chance?
Roundup. That's pretty
Just
simple.
Roundup? Can Bill
No
that?
way.
Yeah. We'll look into it.
Okay, that'd be a good thing. Another question.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing about a building, you know, you were very adamant about
Oh, we were.
buying buildings, and where are we with that now?
Nothing, it's pretty much died at this point. The buildings we were looking at were, the Jehovah's Witness building, I believe, was sold, so that's totally out of play. the large barn, right across the street from there. We were moving right along with that, and we had, basically, I don't know what the proper word you want to use, but the lack of communication with their attorneys, and the prices, there was not economical for the town. They wanted more than what we wanted to pay, and the things that we had to do, we were talking about doing surveys and the test and all that stuff, it was just nickel dime us. We just pulled out before we realized that at the end of the day, it wasn't gonna happen. Then we had to go to a public referendum, and it got voted down. We spent tens of thousands of dollars just to get to nowhere. We decided not to pursue it anymore. We then, the one other building we looked at, the old Optech building, I'm gonna call it, on top of the hill across from 88, that's still in the play. He actually recontacted me not too long ago. I said, at this present time, unless he was high on his price, higher than the appraisal, and we can't pay higher than the appraisal. So I said, when you can come to your appraisal point, we may come back and talk to you, but at this time, I mean, to build a new building, or it did add on this building, the prices are just astronomical when you come to municipal costs. I mean, like we did discuss, you can put up a building on your property, probably for a quarter of the price of what it costs the town.
And the reason for that is?
Municipal, everything's got to be, the wages and stuff you gotta pay. I mean, you can hire the Amish to come and build something on your property, or whoever, a contractor, or yourself, build it reasonable, or it cost, but when you come to a state, town, whatever, I mean, you see what we go through our sewer districts, the things, it's the same thing, building a new building.
Prevailing wage.
The wages, the engineering fees, it gets to the point you're like,
MWB
yeah.
requirements.
And then we go to the public and say, are you really willing to pay X amount more per year for us to have a new building? And, at that time, the numbers are, way up. I mean, we showed the numbers before, it's just, until somebody wants to give us someplace that's move-in ready, it's not gonna cost the taxpayers a lot of money. We talked about it and decided not to follow up on it.
Even to replace the building you have down here, you got enough land for a building.
Oh, we do, yeah. That's still in the plate too, but at this price, we wanted to get through a few other things, get the sewer projects done, and then, it's not,
This one?
Yeah.
it's not dead, it's just, we're not moving on nothing at this present time.
Okay.
I think we experienced enough going through it until we see something good, so we're not gonna move on it.
Okay.
Thank you for your questions. Mark?
William Park, Maranatha Way, Delancey. I would like an appointment to look at the town records, the financial records.
What financial records are you talking about?
What's that?
What financial records are you talking about?
The ledger, the checkbook.
Can the resident ask that?
Records are open to the public anytime they ask.
I'll double check and just get back to you on that. What we
Okay.
can do, can and can't do.
Very good.
Is there certain ones you want to look at?
I'd like to look at there isn't a lot.
Well, I mean, there you have court, you have town
I'm not
clerks, you have...
interested in the court, I'm interested in your books.
Oh, yeah, of course you would be.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Park?
No, that's it, thank you.
Not a problem. Anybody else? All right. I'd like to, motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
And discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Senecal?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Leoni?
All right.
All right, thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Sorry, man, running you over.